Kia ora and welcome to Astro Musical Interventions, Wednesday the 2nd of April 2025. My name's Kāren Hunter and I'm speaking to you from Tāmaki Makaurau, Auckland, Aotearoa, New Zealand. I'm going to talk today about the experiences of the last couple of weeks, the eclipse portal, the equinox, Neptune's ingress into Aries, and all the associated energies and downloads that are accompanying this particular portal that we find ourselves in. So we made it. We made it through this eclipse portal, through the autumn equinox. Well, it's the autumn equinox in the southern hemisphere, the spring equinox in the northern hemisphere. Mercury turned retrograde, Venus turned retrograde, and then Neptune ingressed into Aries. We made it. So where on this beautiful earth are we? Solar eclipses, like the one we experienced together on last Saturday's new moon in Aries, take about 6 months to land. Something has begun. Something has begun in the shadows and is working itself into a mystical manifestation. We may have an inkling of what's taking shape, and we may not. It doesn't make any difference if we know what's taking shape or not, and we don't have to believe in astrology to get it. It's coming whether we are ready or not. So from reading the major news stories that are filtering all the way through the internet over the last couple of weeks and today, I can see that the US administration is releasing its much anticipated tariff regime today, right on the Neptune ingress to Aries, which ties the whole tariff journey to the Neptune into Aries journey. So, take note of the moments, what's occurring on the moment something major politically happens, because they become tied together through this timing. Neptune has a wide set of representations in astrology and significations, and they include a lot of great spiritual and artistic qualities. Aries too has a wide variety of significations like instinct and leadership and action. Well, I'm not convinced personally that the global superpower's present leadership is taking us to a place of enlightened spirituality. I think it's more likely that we'll be working with the Neptunian shadow politically through this period, which is confusion, deception, lies, closet deals, dissolution, and loss. We don't have to go there in our personal lives. We can do something different in our personal lives. Globally, we're affected, but we're also affected in community and personally, and we can make different choices how to use this energy in our own lives. Each one of us is the president of our own personal superpower. We have agency. We have choice about how we play with these energies in our own lives. And it's important to note that this ingress itself is just part of a bigger celestial picture. It's a flow. Check this out, but if you don't like the astrological details, you might want to skip ahead a couple of minutes. If you are interested, this is for you. Saturn and Neptune have been gathering together with the North Node in Pisces. You know, there were other celestial beings there, Venus, Mercury. They are presently just starting to depart from Pisces in their walk into Aries. First Neptune entered Pisces in 2011, 2012. So what changed for you then in the Neptunian realm of music, art, film, spirituality, escapism, addiction, divine love and illusion, and of course illusions of divine love, or any other combination of those keywords? Saturn first entered Pisces March 2023, and how did that hit for you? Think about your personal boundaries, structures, restrictions, and dissolving in confusion around those. And the present story is that first Neptune moved into Aries on March 31st, followed by Saturn on May 25th. In early August they conjunct, but not exactly, on August 1st. And then Saturn retrogrades back into watery Pisces on September 1st, followed by Neptune's retrograde on 23rd of October, where he basically just sits on 29 Pisces until January 26th. 2026. And then Neptune goes back on January 27, 2026. Saturn goes back on 23rd of February. And then we get the conjunction at 0 degrees of Aries, the beginning point of the entire zodiacal wheel. I mean, this is monumental. It's such an indication of a new beginning, of a new order, of a new governance, of a new realization, of a new journey. Saturn can bring surmountable difficulties and restrictions, or pessimism, while Neptune can bring confusion and romantic idealism. Most things will be indicated in the first set of eclipses that we've just had, but will be much stronger in the second set of eclipses later in the year, when things will be stronger and more definitive. And this is a paraphrased quote from Chris Brennan of the Astrology podcast. And Chris Brennan and Nick Dagan-Best have just done an 8-hour analysis of the Saturn-Neptune conjunctions, going back a couple of thousand years. And is particularly, I've listened to the first 4 hours of it, where they're mainly dealing with the 20th century, and it's incredible. So if you're interested in that, I'll put the link here as well. It's amazing. So this is like a word from our sponsors, the planets. So now we're going to go back to the more personal story. Neptune into Aries offers us the perfect blend to step into spiritual leadership in this world. With Pluto in Aquarius, which is the sign of the collective, we're not expecting one person to take the role of spiritual leader. Actually, we should be really, really careful that we don't project our aspirations onto a single person. This is a time for collective evolution and self-responsibility. We each have a role to play. We came into this life with a purpose. For some of us, it is to continue something from a past life, and for others, it's an ancestral journey handed down from the family lines. However, it's not everyone's path to follow in the footsteps of past lineages. The progressed moon phase in our natural birth chart helps us to talk about this in an astrological session. It helps us to explore how some of us are here to give birth to a new idea, to strive, to struggle, or to peak. Others are exploring sharing, letting go, and also loss. And by this I mean they're teaching us all how to let go by dissolving into their own experience. The progressed moon phases is such a rich part of an astrology reading, an astrological session. And of course, we each progress through each phase of the moon in our own lives in an approximately 30-year cycle, but we're actually born during a moon phase. So we have like a keynote, a signature that we carry. And there's 8 variations of this, which we read in conjunction with the rest of the chart and in relation to the question that the person is wanting to find out about. And it can bring a lot of understanding to our personal journey, a lot of acceptance, and a deeper and more mature understanding of what we're really doing here and how we can complement, how we can benefit the communities that we're part of. Neptune's ingress into Aries heralds a time to reflect upon our spiritual journey, on the bigger picture and on the beginning of a new phase of walking our talk. The recent eclipse portal has closed now, but it will be coming to fruition within the next 6 months. It is clear many projects are wrapping up and new ideas are seeding. During this eclipse portal in my community here in Aotearoa, we came together to celebrate the completion of 8 years of NZ Spirit Festivals as the team turns to new personal pastures and the community can regroup in a new way. Earthbeat Festival is not sure if it will run next year or if it will be able to continue at the Atiu Creek Regional Park venue as its lease is completed. Homegrown Festival, held at the Wellington waterfront annually since 2008, completed its run and now it's looking for a new location. She Had, New Zealand's much loved hard rock band, held their final tour and completed the project on the opening Virgo lunar eclipse after a 36-year run together with a virtually unchanged lineup. And I caught the final Power Station gig in Auckland, and it was a lesson in majesty. I have so much respect for the hard work of those guys and the attention to detail. And I remember reading once that they argued a lot in the band room, and that's how they achieved their precision. It was an incredible experience to be there and to dance to that music live for one final time. And I'm filled with nostalgia just thinking about it. It was beautiful. So each one of us doubtless has our personal stories of completion and letting go. It's important to allow some time before starting new projects, especially if we feel we need to push hard at something to get it going. If there's new growth happening organically that is exciting and inspiring, then of course we follow that impulse. However, there's no need to expend a lot of energy getting something new off the ground right now. It's more important at this time to listen to the wind in the trees, the waves on the beach, and the bird song in the morning. When we plant, we water, and we wait patiently. When we plant, we water, we play music, we make art, we make food, we look after our families, our communities, and we wait patiently. In Aotearoa, the seasons continue to turn, and our earth clock shows us that we are past the March-autumn equinox now. There are things to put in place for the winter period and the new year. We can reflect on what we've achieved, even if we just made a huge mess. There are lessons in messes too. You know, like success happens on a number of different levels as long as there's growth. You know, not all of us put on amazing events and thousands of people come. Sometimes we might put on a small event, we have 5 people, but it's around how well we can carry ourselves through the inevitable stresses and tensions and dramas of putting on an event in that case, or however it might look in your personal paradigm. I think that's a very helpful thing about the progressed moon phases, is understanding what we're actually doing and how we are helping each other. We don't just help each other because we pull things off. Sometimes we help each other because we have a goal. Sometimes we help each other because we rise through a difficult situation and allow ourselves to be seen in that, because that in itself gives other people hope and gives other people direction and models what it is to be strong and models what it is to keep going, models tenacity. So for those who waded through the list of retrogrades and ingresses that I mentioned before, you might like to reflect on any initiatives that are put in place before the final conjunction of Saturn and Neptune on February 2026, because these will be reworked and refined until that date. So these global tariffs, wars, boundary lines, threats, elections and other political machinations will likely, therefore, be reworked over and over again during that period. Prayers for the ones who are suffering in this moment, the people of Myanmar and survivors of the horrifying 7.7 magnitude earthquake that occurred on the solar eclipse. I send prayers to those living in war zones, those living on the streets and in cars, those who are under-resourced, living in fear of people in authority, those who have to hide their pain for whatever reason, and those who are hungry and without their basic human needs being met. Io ke roto, io ke waho, ti he mauri ora. Now that the festival season is complete for me this year, I've begun my autumn equinox to spring equinox program for 2025, trying to get the hang of dividing my year this way, and it worked really well for me last year. So my general flow is that I'm going out once a month for a weekend and offering astrology workshops and sound journeys, and seeing friends basically all around the country. Going to be my own little festival workshop zone, portable. So in the meantime, I'm available for astrology readings and music lessons online or in Auckland. My specialty with the music lessons is guitar and other fretted strings, and also voice and songwriting or chanting. More details, including my fee structure, are online on my website, KārenHunter.com. I'll be travelling up to Whangarei and Kerikeri on the weekend of April 12 and 13 to offer these offerings. I'll be over in Thames and Tauranga on the weekend of May 17 and 18. And all the available details are on the link tree, which you can find from KārenHunter.com. I'm not quite sure what I'm doing in June, but in July I'll be based in Auckland, as I have the use of a house that I can offer some sort of astrology course or workshop and some sound journeys from home. So thank you very much for listening. Please do reach out, say hello, comment, send me messages, or share with me your downloads on the Substack page or by any of the socials, or in an email to Kāren@KārenHunter.com. Much love to you and much strength. May we emerge together. Togetherness. May we emerge in togetherness.